Thank you, Yuthika. Do I come in now to share
Yes,
my
sir.
my thoughts on the
Yes.
issue and the book?
Yes.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I start by complimenting, conveying my deep appreciation and a sense of gratitude to Jaladhikar Foundation for launching Jaladhikar, preservation of water, our natural national water resources on a mission mode. I also compliment authors of the book, Gopalji, Yutikaji, for highlighting several important dimensions of water as our national resource and also water as our right. And what is unique about this book and this approach is that it is not based only on their opinion. Their conclusions are based on the evidence. Evidence is also not any ordinary evidence. It is not evidence from secondary sources. It is not evidence that draws on opinion of experts. In fact, the opinion of the most affected, directly affected, is what is collected for this research and for the book. And that's what makes this book unique, in my opinion. Jaladhikar Foundation and the book, the authors of the book, they are dealing with an issue, our water resources, which is unique, important, and scarce. To give a sense of the participants and audience here, we know that Indians on this earth account for 18% of all human beings of humanity on the earth. So by the logic of proportionality, we should also have access to 18% of water resources. But we do not. We have, even though Indians, as Indians, we account for 17 to 18% of world humanity, but we have only about 4% of water resources on this entire planet. That gives us, sense of disproportion. There are more of us, but we have, in comparison to other societies, other countries, our water resources are not in that proportion. And perhaps it's because of this mismatch that our forefathers, हमारे पूर्वजों ने इस दुविधा को, इस कठिनाई को पहले ही देख लिया था, और इसीलिए हम देखते हैं कि चरक संहिता में देखें या सुश्रुत संहिता में देखें तो पानी के महत्व की और पानी को इसके संरक्षण की, इसको प्रदूषण से फ्री रखने की जो बात जिस दृष्टि से उस समय बोल दी गई थी, जब ऐसी दुविधा थी ही नहीं हमारे देश में, हमारे समाज में। आज ये हमारे सामने है। हमारे पूर्वजों ने अपने ज्ञान से हमें कुछ दिशाएं दी हैं, उनका हम उपयोग करें, और जो अभी की जो रिसर्च है उसको भी हम साथ लेके चलें, तो हमारे सामने एक जो दृष्टिकोण बनेगा, जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी बनेगी, that will be realistic, practicable, and that will help us deal with the issue. This book highlights two important things about water. One, it highlights is that there is a mismatch between our supply and demand, not only at national level, but also more at regional level also. Except few places, if we look at supply and demand mismatch between, for most cities, the demand is more and supply is less. More important issue highlighted by this book is that there is inefficient use of our water resources. Whatever water resources, whatever supply we have, that is also not being used efficiently. So that's therefore, there is a need for us to draw a public policy. When it comes to drawing public policy to deal with such a situation, And we should also keep in mind that water is not like petrol. What I said about scarcity of water also applies to scarcity of petrol for our country. You know, our consumption is much more than our natural endowment of petrol. But petrol के विकल्प हैं. There are alternatives for petrol. There is no alternative to water. जल ही जीवन है. वो उसमें हर दृष्टि से ये, और इसलिए ये विषय, this resource becomes even more important. Now I want to draw a little bit, 1 minute, as to what is that economics tells us. The conventional wisdom, conventional contemporary economics tells us that in this situation, there are 3 ways of controlling inefficiency and controlling demand supply mismatch. One is price mechanism. You increase a price, then demand will come down, supply will go up. That's the basic idea. The second economic wisdom is in terms of what is called non-price mechanism or quantity control mechanism. That means that municipalities, state governments could control supply of water, not supply water for 24 hours, but supply it for few hours. Do not allow use of water for gardening or other activities. That's the second approach. This book and the authors, they question, they reject both these approaches. Their approach is management of demand and management of supply. How do they recommend management of demand? Through spreading awareness about optimum use of water. Their major point is that, and this comes out in their arguments, this also comes out in their empirical finding when they have surveyed around more than 250, around 300 households have been surveyed, and households surveyed are rich, are middle income households, and many are poor households. They are all unanimous in their, there is one thing they all agree. What is that? That if you spread awareness about usage of water, then you can control its wastage. And there's a lot of merit. So their argument is backed by the hard evidence. They also advocate supply management, harnessing water resources, harvesting rainwater, other natural resources, and they argue that this harvesting should not be at national level. Of course, there has to be integration at national level, but they emphasize importance at grassroots level, at panchayat level, at local level. The water resources should be harnessed. So, you know, contrary to traditional economics, their focus is on management of demand by sensitizing people, making them more responsible user. As we become more responsible user, then demand automatically will come down because wastage will come down, and by increasing supply. And in all this, they make a case, in my view, for something which the book does not deal with, but I want to bring this to attention of the authors of the book. The contemporary understanding of water is that it is considered as an economic good. It is considered as a good for which people should pay price and get it. It is not considered as a merit good. But water for a society like ours is a merit good. Why I say it is a merit good? Merit good is something that is under consumed in natural course and should be consumed more. For our country, for our economy, water, potable water, शुद्ध पीने योग्य जल एक मेरिट गुड है. जैसे ही जल की वाटर सप्लाई, water becomes potable, it's safe to drink, it improves our health. It is considered to be in ancient text, it is considered to be most important determinant of good health is pure, is safe water. And as our society becomes healthy through potable, safe drinking water, then it will also become more productive. It will become happier society, it will become more productive society, and will contribute to economic upliftment of the entire country. Therefore, it is a merit good. The other reason I feel water is not an economic good, it is a merit good, is that, you know, in the absence of secure supply of potable water, we as Indian in our household, middle income, below middle income, above middle income people, we waste a lot of our resources. Most houses have AquaGuard or ROs or some water purifying device. Most households have to buy water. But if we see, the cost of water will be much less if it is managed as a national resource through government supply rather than it being supplied through private channels. So even if we forget,
we will also like to bring more panelists on the other issue also.
बस एक मिनट और आधा मिनट और उसके साथ ही मेरी बात पूरी हो जाएगी. So
discussion में और
मैं आधे half a minute actually 30 seconds is all I need to draw attention to few issues. As far as supply of water to households is concerned, I am fully convinced that guaranteed supply of safe water is the way to go. Market privatization is not in interest of anybody. It's not in the interest of poor. It's not in the interest of our society. But we also need to think of supply of water to industry and agriculture. Agriculture accounts for more than 85% of water consumed in our country. And industry also accounts for, industry use of water also accounts for large proportion of water. So our comprehensive water policy will have to consider not only securing supply of potable water to households, but also how do we deal with supply of water to industry and supply of water to agriculture. There I feel that price mechanism will have some role to play in harmony with the other approaches that we can learn from our history, from our ancient wisdom. With this, I conclude my remarks. And again, I compliment Jal Adhikar Foundation and the authors. Thank you so much.